Hello, Sister Goons. My name is Alex, and welcome back to Batman Arkham Knight. You may have noticed that in the last video, we left off with Jim Gordon, and, this is... Sorry. So, this was, like a few weeks ago in terms of the storyline. I'm not too sure about the time frame for this, but it does happen before the events of the main game, so you know. And we will be back in this area later as Batman, but it'd mainly be for what's going on right now. And all throughout this elevator, in like three corners, there are references to the Batman mythos. Such as the Grey Ghost, which was Batman's favorite show as a kid, the Flying Graysons, which is a reference to Robin, the Terror, which is a reference to Clayface, and I want to say the other one was a movie that Bruce and his family went to, but yeah, apparently Batman has reconfigured the movie studio into a Batcave, which, you know, kind of cool. And we're introduced to some characters that in the grand scheme of things don't really mean a lot. I'll try to explain in a second, but right now you are pretty much in a bit of a timed scripted sequence where you need to interact with these four characters first before you can move on with the actual story. Oh, right. I should mention that from this point onward, I did have to start over from the beginning, which if you see some upgrades missing and I reacquire them, that's why. So, yeah. For this last, okay, so this is the last character that we are going to, technically it's the last character that we, interact with that's in a cell, but, you know, eventually a Batman, jump scare will happen, so. Okay, so, this is a plot point for the game that I really, really don't like. So, do you remember Joker's blood from Arkham City? How he said that he was shipping samples of it to hospitals all over Gotham? Well, apparently there were a few stragglers that went unrecorded in terms of hospital records. And apparently it's getting so severe that they are becoming Joker, as the game puts it. But really, they're just embodying different aspects of Joker. I will go over them in a second, but I just wanted to point out, like, kind of an obvious story, red flag here. Like, this one guy is not affected by Joker's blood. And if you've seen any kind of zombie movie, then you know that this is a you know that's a major red flag right there. At least in terms of storytelling, but, you know. And, okay, so who are these guys, right? First is Christina Bell. I don't know what profession, I don't know the full details about, everybody here, but, Christina Bell, I don't know what she did. To me, she embodies she embodies Joker's obsession with Batman, which is why she said, "Miss me, bats," you know? But she's also, like this kind of goes on saying, but she's also kind of off a rocker. But, you know. Then there's, Johnny Charisma, the dude in the white suit, right? he, to me, embodies Joker's showmanship, which is why he, and he was I think it was a musical performer or something like that, but like when we see him later, he embodies Joker's showmanship, which is kind of obvious. Then the big guy is a former pro boxer, Albert Kane. He, I believe, embodies Joker's brutality, which definitely kind of fits the boxer thing. And the final guy is Henry Adams, which I mean, like, who is supposedly immune to Joker's blood because he's not showing any symptoms, but like that is a storytelling false lead 101, right? Like, if you've seen zombie movies where these people are unaffected, then you know why. But anyway, meanwhile, back in the present day, thanks to the fear toxin, Batman can see an illusion version of Joker. So technically, Joker is not physically there. He's just a figment of Batman's imagination. Like, he's the devil on Batman's shoulder, basically, telling him to give in to his darker side, essentially, which is him. But I don't like the infected blood plotline because it doesn't make any sense. And honestly, like, we're gonna get into this a lot later in the game, but there is a Harley Quinn story in the main campaign, and honestly, you could have replaced the Joker infected plotline with her and given her more time with Robin going into their rivalry, because I know I didn't show this off yet being the key word here, but there is a DLC campaign in Arkham City called Harley Quinn's Revenge, right? And with that, Robin has to go into the steel mill to help Batman, and along the way, she manages to humiliate Harley. So, yeah, like, that could have been more layer building and character growth for their rivalry, essentially. At least, like, I think I'm making sense there. Am I not? Am I not making sense? But, oh well. So, unfortunately, while we were taking care of Scarecrow and the bomb, Scarecrow managed, well, I should say the Arkham Knight managed to kidnap Barbara. And that also leads to another storyline with, well, that leads to another plot point I don't like about this game. And I know, I'm talking very negatively for a game that I like, but that's just the thing, right? Like, I don't think that the game is perfect. I never said it was. I thought it was great, but great does not mean perfect, But we'll talk about that eventually, because, like, I have my own way that I would want to tell the story, how I would change it, and all that jazz. But maybe I should save a lot of the nitty gritty stuff for how I would actually change it. Well, actually make a dedicated what if I rewrote Arkham Knight sort of thing. But but there's a, like, when it comes to game development, from my understanding, there's a lot of time constraints, a lot of budget cuts in certain places, so you can't really make the game how you want a lot of the time, unless you're an indie developer wanting to go at your own pace or whatever. But Yeah, and yeah. So in case you wanted to know why Gordon, well, no, like if you had any doubt as to why Gordon was was not paying attention to Joker, again, he's just part of Batman's mind. Only he can see him. Like, well, I hesitate to call it a serious condition, but that's let's just try to move on from that. So Batman so Gordon is now informed that Barbara has been kidnapped by the Arkham Knight, but here's the thing. Okay, so first of all, I am away a little bit, so like I had to take care of something. Like I think I had to take care of the dogs for a second there, but I don't start moving for a little bit, but you at least get to hear some of this interaction that would probably be interrupted as soon as you got into the city or whatever. But you know, so you're going pretty slow here to keep up with Jim's car, which you know, pretty understandable. But then some cars will come up and will try to run Gordon off of the road and blow him up. Your job is to take care of all of them. But there it is. So yeah, like you can either ram them, use missiles, or just boost into them if you can, but sometimes that doesn't happen. Yeah, you can also do shit like that. But also, if you're doing missiles, be careful, because with each hit, you will lose focus on how to, like, basically, your rockets are basically on a time limit, like, they're basically on a cooldown, right? But if you get hit, the cooldown starts all over again. So, you know, you gotta be careful with that. Now, with them out of the way, Gordon rides in the Batmobile for you know, his added safety. I mean, honestly, that should have been from it should have been from minute one, saying like Gordon, these guys have rocket launchers and will blow you to shreds unless you go in my armored car. That's also a tank. But yeah, it's whatever. Although we do have a bit of a synopsis around the where the Arkham Knight's forces are set up. So, M.I.A Island we'll head to later. Founders Island is their stronghold, and that is going to be off limits for a long time. Bleak is the home. Bleak is where the GCPD is, but it has a lot of drone forces attached to it. So, so we're gonna have to take care of them, so that way the police can actually take care of like some of the riders, which doesn't always happen. Like, it is mostly up to you to take care of them, but like in terms of world building, like that's what you have to do, you know? So I believe these are all of the drones left in the island. At least I believe so. Yeah, they are connected to the clock tower, and unfortunately, as I found out, these guys, well, there are some soldiers up on the roof of the clock tower, and you have to take care of them before going inside. Stealth segment, basically. So, with all this noise around here, they are more than aware of your presence. So, yeah. Though, thankfully, after I did try to do this with them on alert, thankfully, I did manage to what's the word? Well, okay. So after I failed this first attempt, the guys were completely unaware of my presence when I wanted to restart the stealth segment, which is good. Though sometimes they won't do that. And this is also a new thing for night. Like, if you get caught while you're in a stealth segment or just trying to take a guy down, then it'll go to a slow-mo, and you can either... And depending on the geography of the area, you will either be... you can either do a fear multi-takedown, you can throw a smoke pellet, or you could grapple away. So you have options on what is best for you. So, which is honestly neat. Okay, so my first target here, as I mentioned in the previous video, is this medic. Because with him, once I take everybody out, they will, be taken out. Well, they'll be down for good. Now, I did use a fear multi-takedown because, well, I wanted to get a move on. And, well, they would be alerted of my presence anyway because after a little while, the knight will let his people know that one of them is down. So you're gonna have to be kind of quick on this one. Well, with any Arkham Knight, any militia stealth segments, I should say. And that's a fear multi-takedown for me. See? So that's what happens if you do a regular stealth takedown without having to do... assuming you didn't already use your fear takedown already. So, there you go. And phone's fine. It's fine. I still got a few minutes. Also, something that is cool about the... Okay, well, I did unfortunately have to use a combat assignment mechanic for that, so kind of upsetting, but hey, at least I actually did it, Now, time for that plot point of mine to progress a little bit further. So, thanks to the fear toxin that Batman was practically injected with back at Ace chemicals, he starts suffering from a lot of hallucinations now, and this is just one of them. So for Batman fans and comic fans in general, this is a reference to The Killing Joke, which is arguably one of the greatest Batman comics ever made. There was a film adaptation of it, but the less said about it, the better. However, you may be wondering, well, Batman wasn't even there when all this happened. And you're right, he wasn't. This is what he thought happened. Like, this whole thing was what he thinks happened that night. So, yeah. Also, bit of a fun fact with Barbara in this game, actually. Like, if you go into a detective mode with her, you can see that her spinal column is broken. Nice attention to detail. And yeah, this is a bit of a weird segment here, because like what you're supposed to do is wait for an object to spawn in. Because so far, with Gordon's segment, we were waiting for Batman to spawn in. We were waiting for certain cues to happen during the previous segment. But now we're just waiting for a certain object to pop in, which is Barbara's wheelchair. Now, unfortunately, I don't remember the actual trigger for that to happen. I think it's you need to wait a little bit, but I honestly don't remember. But anyway, so now is the cutscene that I always skip on repeated playthroughs. Gordon's revelation about Barbara, and oh boy, this scene could have been handled a lot better. Okay, so like, I get that Gordon is a father, like Barbara is Gordon's baby girl, the light of his life, etc., etc. Batman doesn't know anything about family, but Batman knows Barbara is like okay, so let me back up a step, okay? So I get Gordon is mad. He has a right to be. However, to me, Gordon is not a fool, so he shouldn't be okay. I may have to extend my little rant here, but like Gordon's outburst, like him being angry, yeah, 100% understandable. However, it's at the wrong person. Batman couldn't have foreseen this. He's not a mind reader. He's not a psychic, telepath, or whatever. Gordon knows this. And the whole like I never should have trusted you, like bitch, Barbara is 100% like you. Like the fucking thick-headed, stubborn mentality, that's all you. Like, seriously, there's no way that you could have stopped her even if you knew. So what the fuck are you on about? And also, it's been years since, I think part of Gordon probably knew, he just didn't really want to accept it. But even then, Barbara's saved Batman's ass on more than one occasion. So, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Ugh. Okay, so part of me was actually trying to find an Easter egg here. Basically, on the security footage, you can find Zaz, but unfortunately, he is not that big of an issue. But I think I'll go into more detail about that later, because, well, we are coming up on time here, so. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I don't know what milestone we'll be celebrating next, or how we're going to celebrate it, so stay tuned for that, I guess. So, until next time, Slutchy Goons, remember, reach for the stars.